Hi friends, look at me, I'm all big, all right? How's that? So we're going to take a look at Link, right? We're going to look at Link, we're going to look at it with regards to things like the pitchfork that we've got in the background, the moving averages, Fibonacci retracement tools, the oscillators down below here. This is, of course, the RSI. Then you have the RSI here. My mouse wasn't on screen, or maybe it was, I'm not sure. RSI, the Stochastics, then the DMI, all that good stuff. We'll be doing all that in this episode here as ever, and we'll be looking at the Link dollar and the Link dollar, sorry, I just said that twice, and the Link Ethereum one as well. So just stay tuned for all that. I'm going to shrink myself down and say, if you think that sounds interesting, you should definitely keep watching this video. Yeah, fun. My name's Rocky Outcrop. This is 100% quality technical analysis. Share it with your friends, your mother, your sister, your daughter, your brother, your sister, your daughter, your wife, your son. Everybody would like it. I'm sure they would. This is the best place in the world for everything, including just, being a happy person. Looking at this dollar pair, and we've had this downward sloping wedge, and we've got these two targets in mind for it, but we've not got either of them yet. What about the structure here on the right hand side since we pushed out of it? Does it bleed into anything else? Well, it still does have this interplay here on the RSI where we have a shoulder, a head, and a shoulder, and we also have a shoulder, head, and shoulder here in the stochastics, giving you this clear area where we actually have had the measured move in terms of the stochastics off of this thing, but we've not seen that translate into price action as yet. Will we push on past this zone? The clear area above our heads being $11.70, of course, $11.50 if you want to be kind of strict on yourself. The key area for support being 10.44. Movements between that are just ranging amongst the targets. We'll take a look down at the 24-hour and the daily, and the lower time frames. This is the 2-day that started off on. And that will, that's our range currently. Pushing past either of those 2 points is like a success or failure benchmark for us. 10.33, where the 236 Fibonacci retracement point is of course going to be key for us. The 618 comes in here at $15.50, and just below, before I jump over to the 24-hour time frame and down the way and look at the other parents, I wanted to give a shout out to a Rocky Outcrop out there who shared his music with me. In fact, that's the wrong one, so maybe I'll get a copyright strike against me. I hope to God I don't. But here we are, Fritham. Let's just leave this on here. He can do the background music for us. He's a Rocky Outcrop, so let's hope that he somehow retains the rights to his music and I don't get copyright striked for that. So anyway, also like and subscribe, by the way. And check out his channel and all that sort of stuff. I was also giving a shout out, by the way, to Benjamin Cowan. I say Cowan because his first name's not Leonard. And his channel, he does interesting stuff. I don't think it's particularly actionable in terms of what we do here, but it's interesting. And it's the sort of thing that sometimes can create a little bit of that sort of disconnect, though. My one warning about it would be that if you're a trader and looking to proactively trade and you watch stuff like that, it's easy to conflate the ideas in your head that perhaps this guy is telling you something and it's going against you and you're losing money and therefore you've missed a lesson there, etc., etc. And there's a disconnect, and why am I not bridging that gap? Well, it's just simply because he looks at things on the weekly time frame and isn't actually a trader. It's as simple as that. Anyway, interesting videos, good stuff, and worth a watch. So here we are in the 12-hour time frame. You can see that we had this death cross over here. Let's just take a look at how the 50 and the 200 simple moving averages. If I hide all the drawings here, in fact, I could easily also just for the purposes of this hide everything. Let's say apart from those, the 21 EMA, 50 simple and 200 simple. Keep them on at the minute. Just so you can see that, of course, the 21 EMAs tends to be the thing that's offering us up to sort of the near-term resistance or support, and of course we're sandwiched between either of these two. Looking up towards the 24-hour time frame, you can see, of course, the 21 EMA coming in there at 10.44. We've obviously already spoken about the significance of that sort of area. The 50 simple up above our heads at 11.25. The 200 down there would be the target to look down to at 7.50. Pop the drawings back on real quick. You can see that we've got a golden pocket coming in here at that 8.20 down to 7.80 area anyway. That also is the case over here, right? Yes, various levels in there to be aware of. So anyway, If we look down the time frames to see the 4-hour time frame, you can see we've got a golden cross though on the go, and subsequently we've tested the 50 and pretty much close enough. It's close enough to testing the 200. Movements up above this zone could be quite good. You know, could see the trigger of the other price action we've been talking about with regards to that head and shoulders. Of course, failure to do so is going to see the opposite. We're in here at that point in time where things are getting a little bit more heated up or pressurized, if you like, with regards to all of that. Got downward slope here on the what'd you call them, the RSI. It was a little bit no, it wasn't. The stochastics and the DMI were divergent. The RSI was fine. Is this going to be like a fallen wedge which gives us a boost towards the top side or not? That's the curiosity for us at the moment. Good, still you. Cheers, mate. Nice one. And we're still looking at this here, ADX, you know, it's in a position where we have strength of trend towards this downward movement, you know, so what we really need to see happen here when the Bitcoin parent is to manage to find some sort of support in amongst these areas. 93k, is that important for any reason? Pop the drawings back on, boom, there you go, there's a 236. We know this is of key importance to us. Stretch it out a little bit and look at where we are with regards to our pitchfork. We can see right now as we're talking that we have this resistance above our heads, entering back into this zone, very much positive, taking out the 21 EMA, very much positive. We have this golden cross here, which could be positive with this retest, but let's not let it fail and fade away. We need to stay above 90,000 at the very least. Want to see 93k be secured yet again in terms of the 4-hour time frame. Move towards the top side and retake out our previous highs, and do that without divergence if we can. That would obviously involve coming oversold in term or overbought in terms of the stochastics, but we've got room towards the top side in terms of the RSI. In terms of this ADX, however, we have a negatively stanced thing, you know, with the strength of trend indicating towards the downside, but we haven't really managed to sort of push on past that zone quite yet, and we have to be prudent with regards to this being orange rather than blue, with the ADX line in the background being below 25. So, you know, we'll not hold our breath for negativity of the back of this, but we'll also not, you know, breathe too deeply into the musty fumes of disappointment there with regards to the positive trend just quite yet. On the 1-hour time frame, then you can see how we've interacted with this pitchfork yet again, having actually found support on it, sandwiched between these two two moving averages. I'm just going to leave that more or less with you for the weekend in terms of doing your own technical analysis. I'm really, you know, while people do tell me from time to time that if I say the numbers more clearly, hover over them, etc., and, you know, all of that, it makes it easier for you. I understand that, I appreciate it. I'm actually here about teaching you how to wage war against the fishes. You know, we really want to fuck those fish up. And if I just were to give you a dead fish, yeah, sure, you might eat it, but what difference does that make when it comes to the war against fish? I want to actually have you be, of course, Rambo when it comes to killing fish, which means, of course, you need to be there. You know, you don't know what it's like, man. You weren't there. If you remember the end of Rambo 1. So I want you to be there and, of course, enjoy it. All that good stuff. Looking at Ethereum parent, we have this pattern on the price charts. On the charts, we have this pattern of the symmetrical triangle. We come right up towards the top end of it. Pushing outside of this zone could be good. Of course, we're at the precipice in terms of various bullish aspects towards the short-term price action. In terms of, you know, the shape up of this thing with regards to these moving averages, you know, we're above the 50, 21 and the 200. Let me just jump up towards the 4-hour time frame and show you that the story continues to be the same. Right now, we're above these, all three of these moving averages. Hadn't had this golden cross in terms of the 4-hour with this retest. The Ethereum pairing being one step ahead of the others should we get that positive flow forwards. Looking at this measured move then, of course, which is actually far too big. There's a little bit of that sound with regards to Frithm's music in the background here. That's like what you called that band? Oh, damn it! The Flaming Lips. A little bit of that sort of background taste to the music. Of course, it's not constant, and there's been many different iterations of the Flaming Lips, but there's a ethereal quality there which is similar. Looking up towards the top here, I would say that the 50 simple, of course, would be a clear profit taking target here on the 24-hour timeline if we were to actually push outside of this zone. Looking to the left, structurally, you can see for Y there at 0.03, and you can also see that if we were to do the textbook style 60%, that's where it would take you. Pushing on past it, of course, though, for the full measured move takes you up to 31. So, you know, both of those being more than 10% up from where we are just now, I wouldn't get too greedy on it. But of course, you know, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. Can we maintain above our sort of swing pivot point area here with regards to this? Will we see this head and shoulders on the RSI really play out now that we're at the neckline and re-challenging it? The neckline ever so handily and conveniently line up with the neutral line on this thing and this upward slope here that we have on the stochastics. Bear in mind though that of course at this point when we have a high here followed by a lower high, followed by a higher high, that could be described as being hidden bearish divergence. Of course it could. It's not on the RSI there. It's kind of technically not actually there on the DMI either, but of course it's a confused picture, and we're about to come into this crazy zone of volatility, jumping down the way. As you can see here, when the white zone ends, the party begins with regards to volatility thereafter. Maybe not. This isn't maybe the best example with the 1 hour time frame in mind, but you know, you're looking at the potential for that to start happening there on the larger time frames, like the 12 hours. We're currently in one of those zones right now. If this ends, pops up volatility going hand in hand with a pattern with a measured move towards the top side. Equally worth then reminding people that there is the measured move towards the downside. If we come down the 50 simple below us on the 12-hour time frame, looking at trying to remain above our previous lows, there is obviously a 10% move down the way there towards 26 from our 28 target, our current price point, towards 25. If we were to try challenge these previous lows, that would be your negative case scenario. I'm going to leave that with you for the weekend. Thank you so much for tuning in. By the way, share this with your friends. Come on, help grow the channel. Let's do this. Let's try and get some more movement on the channel. You'll have noticed that I don't put that sort of little link down below saying don't click this, so my subscriber numbers have dropped as a result of that somewhat. But of course then the quality hopefully of the subscribers goes up when people are genuinely actively engaged in the channel. So I really hope that we can achieve something here in terms of YouTube, because I know that the quality of the technical analysis deserves it. I highly recommend checking out the previous videos I put out today as well if you haven't already, with regards to Bitcoin, Ethereum, Tezos as well. Very, very good stuff across the board. I really do appreciate you tuning in. This is of course Fantabitosi. I've explained how everything links together with regards to I mean it's the best technical analysis. Obviously if you struggle with it, that's okay. Over time you'll get better. Don't worry. Join the Discord for more explanations if you want, and exclamations too. Fuck. See you next time. Oh, youtube.com/Rocky Outcrop. Share with your friends. Ciao. Hit the join button too. Hit the join button if you want to donate to the channel. Yeah. If you don't, then hit the subscribe button. That's all good. See ya.